What do we say?
Okay, I'm gonna back up. Shit. And I'm gonna stop that recording and start again. And by say ready, do we know what we're gonna say in the beginning?
I'll make it up as I go along.
Okay. Okay, I'm flying.
Welcome to the Nidd server. I can see Anubiz through the gap in the Phoenix because apparently that was the most cinematic shot we could come up with.
Boo boo boo.
He's coming to pick me up, and Mia's in here, just sprinting on the spot. You have to go up. God, that's slow. Oh. Please don't fix this game, Keen. This is just funny.
I almost died while you were pushing me, just as a side note.
Okay,
that would be counterproductive.
Don't touch someone with low sim speed. Noted.
Don't. I wonder if I can actually like dock this thing right beside without burning your stuff up.
You'll have to come in quite far because there's no gravity out there yet.
Oh, okay.
And of course, you know, it would completely ruin the roleplay of it if we went out there and
you're just lazy.
It's not as if this slow running mirror is.
You can't. Obviously, there's no gravity above on the roof, so I'm gonna. Here we go. And then I'll come on in, and then I'll make sure that I'm docking close enough to the ground that you guys can just reach up and grab the seat.
Yeah. Oh yeah, but what are we doing? We're talking. We're meant to be. Okay, where do you want me to sit on this thing? This
on the left and the right, maybe.
Perhaps I don't think I've made a video where I've talked about this thing, so perhaps you could describe what it is.
I'm gonna wreck your base, I think. There we go. Oh yeah, I made a hole in your base.
Oh. Okay.
And we're gonna back out.
Yep. What is this thing that we're flying?
The Bumblebutt.
Yes. And its purpose?
Its purpose is it is a flying and floating Chesterfield.
With a fireplace in the middle.
It's a fireplace in the middle, yep. So it's meant to be a place where we can all gather and have a nice Chesterfield chat around the fireside and talk about all the things that are wonderful and troubling in the world.
Well, that would work if we wouldn't be awkwardly standing around it.
yeah, we can't actually sit at the moment, so we are awkwardly standing around a fireplace.
This is how engineers sit.
Yes. The real purpose that we're meant to be here is rather summarized by the fact that Mia can barely move. It's that the Land of Nidd server is not really working. I don't think there's a better way we could put that. There's no... The game isn't working, and as a result, none of us have been able to actually do any of the things that we were intending. I certainly haven't. I've had 4 days. I counted them up. 4 days where I've actually been able to play properly since it was opened a month and a bit ago. And I'm sure a lot of other people have had similar problems where most people can't even log on now. There's actually been quite a few people on there lately, comparatively, and I'm wondering how they've managed it, because they must have sim speeds of below 0.5. And basically we wanted to talk about our train of thought, which has pretty much always not come to a suitable answer, I think. I don't think we've really come to a what's the word? Like
conclusion?
Yeah, that'll do. That's not what I was looking for, but it'll do. And we kind of wanted to express our thought process so that if for example, if we had to close the Land of Nidd, we didn't want to do it just one day without informing people or letting people have any say in it. We needed to have some sort of a conversation at least to show people that we've actually been thinking. These past couple of weeks has pretty much, I don't know what you two have done, but I've pretty much just been thinking and haven't come up with any way to solve things in a way that's positive in every aspect.
Well, to answer your question, we have been trying to fix what Keen broke with their last update.
Oh yes, you've actually been doing work.
Yes.
So I think, I don't know, what are the options? Either we can basically just strip the server to the bone, do what all the suggestions, what everyone has been suggesting as far as removing lag, and that might include another server reset, but in any case it'll include ruling out the use of a lot of I guess features of the game, things like pistons, rotors, lights, anything like that, basically saying they're not allowed on the server. There's the adding of mods that remove the borders of the blocks. There's a whole lot of different things that we could do. But whenever this is just a personal opinion, but whenever I read through those things, the list of things that we could do, it's basically a list of things that make me not want to play the game.
Right, yeah.
Yeah, it makes it seem as if it's not really worth having, at least in a roleplay sense. And it kind of just led me to the rather depressing conclusion that I was far too ambitious and that this isn't possible at this stage. What's another? I've been talking too much. What's another another thing that we could do?
Another thing would be that we just keep it running and then eventually hope that Keen will fix it, though that's in the distant future, and by then we'll probably have lost all our members because they can't play at all anymore. Because, technically seeing, our lag increases steadily, at least in my opinion.
Yeah.
It seems to just get worse and worse.
I suppose it wouldn't get better the more you play. But,
yeah.
Well, that's how it should be. It gets better, more people come on, and then we have beautiful stations and all that, and roleplay, and fun. That's better, but apparently we can't currently do that.
Yeah, I think that's the main... Whoa! you went down. The fireplace almost burnt my face off.
I just turned off the universal dampeners, actually, because I was coming in for a little roundabout here, but...
Right. Oh, we're going past Hatchet Station, but we mustn't get sidetracked. Yes, well, I have realised, just to sidetrack again, I have realised that you're getting all the nice views for yourself, Anubiz. I'm mostly seeing blue.
Well, here, let me go this way then. How about this? We go I'll fly past it this way. There.
It's still blue.
Well, yeah, because...
Still
Oh, yeah,
too.
there we go. There we go.
There we go.
Okay.
You gotta wait for it. Just wait for it.
Oh, that's Nordic Beast's ship as well.
Yeah.
Park next to Hatchet
he
Station.
parked there when he left his asteroid. And he still hasn't seen my Easter egg that I left him, but...
What were we talking
that reminds me of another point. If we were going to reset the server and then bring up more, well, strict rules in terms of lag reduction, we wouldn't allow any unfinished blocks, at least for a long time. So ship scaffoldings like that wouldn't work, really, because they're quite lag-heavy.
Yeah. Yeah, there's a whole bunch of little things like that. And essentially it means that we can't do basically what we've done on this server. That was kind of what originally made me think it was possible. Because this server had been running for, at that stage, I think about 4 months. No reset. I've pretty much done no maintenance whatsoever. And it's been, apart from the center point where we've just got a station that's too big, just for the game in general. Apart from that point, it's been fine. I haven't had any problem. Floating out here is, yeah, it's perfectly fine. And then when the Land of Nidd server opened up, it was the series of ironically named bug-fixing updates, which...
Yeah.
Yeah, it seemed to... I'm sure that on the development side of things it was alright, but from our end it basically set the game back roughly 6 months. The really good period in the middle where everything was fine just coincided with us trying to do this ambitious thing. And if we are to continue, either it's going to be very laggy, or we're going to have to say that building like this is not possible. We can't have stations, we can't have shops, we can't, roleplay in that way. We'd have to make everything small, which isn't, it's still possible. We don't need all of that extra stuff, but it's a matter of whether we want it.
Right.
Yeah. The one, I think we had two other options, just roughly penciled out. One of them was to turn it into basically another PvP server. Because that was always my intention. I personally never wanted to just have another Space Engineer server, like all of the others. Why would you choose to play on this one when there are plenty of others that would do it better? So that was why the whole roleplay stuff, and I had a lot more plans that just never came to fruition. You see that in my videos where I start things and then I just can't finish them. It's not because I've been lazy, for once. I actually haven't been able to finish them. Yeah, so the one option is to basically remove all of that from it and say that this is going to operate like a normal everyday like PvP survival server, and we just put that up for people. We treat it as such, so we assume that everything that's made on the server is not valuable, that we have regular resets, pretty much all of the stuff that everyone else does. Obviously we still have all the, we'd still provide, forums and TS server, all that sort of stuff, but we wouldn't pretty much be there trying to create silly stories and do stuff like that. Does that make any sense?
Yeah, it does mostly. Though silly stories would still be possible given that the TS is still there. That isn't hindering us. It's just they're all going to be on a much smaller scale.
Yeah.
But at least they're there.
So yeah, that's an option. I guess that's a if all else fails. Like if we can't keep a server going, I guess it's from a selfish perspective, in that I wouldn't be recording a specific series. It wouldn't be a server that I would be doing that. It would just be a service for people, which is yeah. That's purely from a selfish perspective, not to do with anyone else. The other thing is just to close it down and say that's it.
Yeah.
But in any case, like in any of these things, I would like to keep. I mentioned it briefly to the both of you, trying to keep the roleplay aspects alive somehow.
Somehow, yeah.
Because like I've given the example of Raptor Cargo, and what was the other example?
Mole Man Defense Force, or ADC, yeah.
Yeah, I really like what Milanos did with the AVC. How in-depth it was. He even had catalogs for his drones and stuff like that. And like, every time I log onto the server, the first thing I think is this just this can't stay. The thing's broken. And then I see people talking about all this other stuff, and there's still things going on. I'm still getting people messaging me with, what's happened that day. And I kind of don't want that to go away.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, which is why I've really stalled on doing anything. Pretty much not trying to upset anyone. And yeah, I think that's kind of why we're doing this discussion, because none of us really have the answer. We just have options.
Yeah, we've laid out a few options here, I guess. I think one is, I mean, the worst one, I guess, probably what? Like shutting it all down. The second one is we go with a traditional PvP style where we have regular resets and we limit the mods, if any, and we limit what you're allowed to use, and we, you know, clean things up liberally, type of thing from time to time, with the possibility that, you know, stuff is lost if it's not connected to grids and whatever. And then the third option is there a way to still keep some kind of a PvP or some kind of a roleplay scenario?
We could try to bring over some of the old creations from the others, which would require some work since we'd need to patch them up a little and make them a little less lag-inducing, but then they'd at least be able to keep some of that, and we could, well, provide the roleplay in a miniature scale.
Right. Yeah, like I think Mira and I had the thought at one point that we could pretend that we were in an unstable universe, and every month or however often we have to do the reset type stuff on a regular schedule, that the system is like throwing through a wormhole vortex of, you know, time dilation, I don't know, some crazy sci-fi thing, and, you know, the stuff that's in the world gets transposed over to another world, and only things that are not attached to asteroids would be taken with, was I think one of the ideas. Is that maybe a way to maintain some of the role play? We can build it into the game, but knowing the limitations, right? Of still, we would have to like try and keep people from using things that were too lag-inducing, but that if it wasn't attached to a station and it was within a certain area, maybe it would be pulled through to the next, you know, through the next time warp, whatever we call it.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm I'm trying to think of things, but yeah, I'm not making any sense in my own brain. I thought I should probably stop myself from talking, because usually I don't, and it just turns out to be nonsense. Okay, to go off on a slightly different point. Again, I'm being entirely selfish and just talking about myself here, but I am not going to be running this server. I don't know what you're doing, Anubiz, but I don't know if you're just kind of floating between things, but this is all on Mir. So if he does things that you don't like, you should completely abuse him, not us, just him.
Yeah, that's
thank
right.
You.
You're welcome anytime.
No, well, he's shown to be far more responsible than the both of us. And he's basically going to be, I think the way that we've kind of set it up is that we're going to have our different projects, and his project is going to be the Land of Nidd, or whatever it turns into. And we're going to be helping out, but essentially he's our boss.
Yep.
Yeah.
Ooh.
And I kind of wanted that because I wanted to go do other things. So I'm sort of stepping away from that, and I think, yeah, I have no idea what you're doing, Anubiz. You're just sort of floating, both literally and figuratively.
Literally, yep. Well, I'm definitely on the same page as Boris when it comes to, like, I really enjoy the roleplay stuff. I enjoy the long build stuff. Like, if anybody that watches my series knows, like, this base here, I really enjoy just like slowly adding on to things and doing things and continuing on the story, right? So yeah, I think I'll be doing similar kind of stuff.
I think we come from similar backgrounds in that we like the open world building. We'd happily just build by ourselves forever. And that doesn't really fit in with the current state of multiplayer servers, where what you build disappears the next week. Some people are completely fine with that. I know some people that jump from PvP server to PvP server, just building for half an hour, going to capture another ship, and then if they die, they just log off. If they don't, they fly around in that ship and then try and capture another one. That's what they like doing. But we were kind of making a server that fitted our our playstyle rather
Right,
than everyone
yeah.
else's. But yeah, on that note, I've already started building a thing with Christoph King, which I've told neither of you about this.
It isn't his mini golf course because he still needs to finish that. Christoph, if you're seeing this, finish that thing. I want to play it now.
I should say the entire planning of this has been 2 emails so far.
Yep.
I'm trying to set up another, I guess, large mini game. But the point is that I'm going to be trying to do lots of smaller things now, trying to host more things that are smaller and more possible, and not try and run massive servers, trying to keep a world alive for 6 months, stuff like that, because I'm terrible at it.
So we could think that you might be bringing back Weekend Madness. No, probably not.
Maybe not that exact thing, but along the same lines. Just doing lots of things with random people, basically, both in Space Engineers and not. That's what I'm doing. I don't know what Anubiz is doing again. It's just floating.
I'm just floating. Well, here, I'm going to show you something. You see that asteroid behind Mir's head?
Yeah.
No, I don't.
It's got a big hole in the side of it.
Yeah.
I used Bertha on that and I broke Bertha.
Oh, if you didn't tell me, I wouldn't have noticed. I would have thought I did
Yep.
it.
But then
But
I
thank you
fixed
for
Bertha.
telling me that. Oh, you fixed it? Up to the
Yep.
state that it was in?
Actually, I think it's fixed more than the state it was in.
Okay. Well, I agree with
Is that okay?
Yeah, you should do that more often.
And you have now a ton of ore and gold, which you had none of.
Yeah. Okay, thank you.
You're
I,
welcome.
didn't
Moving on.
realize I had that problem.
Hey, what is this over here?
Now,
Yeah,
before we
so
get
we're talking about the wrong thing
sidetracked,
now. Yeah, sidetrack.
and turn this into another 30-minute video, are there any other points we should discuss?
I take that as
Don't be
no.
shy.
I think that's it.
Basically, we're just presenting our thought process and want people to chip in. It's... I don't think there's really a straight purpose to this video. It's more of a cry for help.
Yeah. We've laid out the options, I think, as far as the Land of Nidd are concerned, that we have come up with, and it's by no means the only options that there are. So if you guys have more suggestions, we've read through all of the discussion, right? I think most of the discussion forums basically are going towards the, very minimal PvP style server that has constant resets. So if you have other options, other ideas, let us know, and we'll try. We want to do this relatively soon because the server is having trouble, right? And so let us know.
On that note, I feel people should be respectful of the play styles of others, because in an
Yes.
open world, like a sandbox, everyone has the different ways that they like to play, and we could have easily created like a normal PvP survival server. We could have made it a very bare minimum, but wanted to do something different. We wanted to have a different playstyle. That doesn't mean that any other playstyle is wrong. That was just what we were aiming for, and it's not currently possible. So you have to be kind of have to keep in consideration that the way that you play might not be the way that everyone else wants to play. You might be fine with having absolutely nothing but a couple of blocks and a thruster, but yeah, if you came across someone like Zek, he feels completely naked without a ship the size of the Sleeping Beauty, which you could see before until Anubiz moved.
Nope.
And is this upside down, or did you destroy both the floor and the ceiling?
Yep, that's my plan. I'm docking you guys back. I'm bringing you home.
I don't live here. Kidnap me.
Oh no! Oh.
All right. Where do you want to go, Mir? See you, Boris.
Did he just die? I don't feel comfortable riding with you anymore.
I almost wish that you fell in that hole I made, but. Or who this is a quote, I think, right? Would you get into my hole? I think something like that.
I know what I'm going to put at the end of my video now.
Oh, you already fixed it? Alright. Well, anyhow, I think that is a good place to end it. So, goodbye, Boris. And, Mir, I'm going to take you off into the sunset. Oh no, he's gone. I was going to take you to the sunset. But please, everybody, let us know your thoughts. And yeah, so talk to you guys all later.
I won't.
Not on my end, that was a cinematic shot. Just your bumblebutt flying into the sunset.
Yep.
Still does.
I like the way
Now you're
you had to reroute to go fly into the sunset.
The sun.
Let's end this. Goodbye.
Yep. Bye, everybody.
Oh, we were still recording. Oh, you. I thought it was already the end.
I'm going to die.
Oh,
I can't get out. Where's out? There's out. Oh, jeez. I'm gonna.
This is.
Let me out. Let me out.
Let
me out.
This is terrible.
Ow,
I just remembered I have control over this. Why am I letting it happen?
Would you like to get inside my hole?